this process, how to get fundings, how to gain venture capitalist fund, private equity, what is equity, and what type of fundings are in startups. So, to be very honest, there are many founders. Those previously are the faculty members, but now they are the good entrepreneurs, those who are running a profitable business these days. So even faculty is having the opportunity to become the mentor for the startups. So there are multiple opportunities that you can opt, but uh, which one is the best for you? We will discuss about it today. Once my screen is visible, please let me know.
It's visible.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we are here again. From research to startups, innovation, entrepreneurship, and commercialization strategies for faculty. So this is the topic that we are going to discuss today. And today there are a lot of things. What are the accelerators? What are the incubators? What is the use of AIC? What is IIC? How we can encourage startup ecosystem inside the university, institute, or even how we can become the entrepreneur. What path that we have to follow to identify the best problem statements to work on as in a business. What exactly a startup is, what is the difference between a startup, actual difference between a startup and a business. So we will take care all of the things, and these things are very simple. Every company required few of the departments to run, and so we will discuss about the core fundamental businesses, and we will discuss about the non-fundamental businesses as well. So I hope you like the session today. Okay. So basically, we'll start from the startup. Yesterday we started from IP. So just giving uh, the thing that we have discussed yesterday. Uh, IP is a department which helps you to make the business monopoly, to make the components monopoly, to make the devices the monopoly. But means like your concept will become the monopoly in any country. That's why a process which is known as IP is introduced inside the businesses. So yesterday we have discussed all about the academics. So today we will discuss about the businesses. What if we are having a solid idea, and what if we are what we have to do after that thing? So if we are having a solid idea, we are able to proceed with two things along with the IP, without IP. We will start from one of the examples. So do you ever heard about what is Dolby? Do you ever heard about the terminology, a company named Dolby? Dolby produce sounds. Have you ever heard about Dolby? Anyone here? No one. Strange. Okay. Let me showcase you the sign. Maybe then you can recognize. As my screen is visible to you, have you ever heard about
Yes.
this Dolby terminology? Anyone here? There are sound effects in our mobile phones as well. Dolby atmosphere, surround sounds. Okay, if you are not, so let me explain more about Dolby. Dolby is one of the organization which helps to produce good air for your ears, first of all. So Dolby helps to make surround sounds, theater sounds, amplify those sounds. Okay. So Why I'm taking this example? Because this example will give you a clear explanation what we are going to discuss today. Dolby is one of the organization maybe founded in 1950s around. While they are forming their organization, so they have taken so many of patents on their technologies because they are having a very good sound technologies. We call it acoustics technologies. So acoustics are one of the segments where we discuss about sounds and soundproofings and all. So at that time when Dolby was founded, so they have taken so much of patents and other IPs like trademark. So why Dolby took the trademark and why they took the patents? Because they know their technology is novel and they are coming into the market to do a business. So when somebody is doing a business and they know that thing like their technology is one of the novel technology and can become very we can sell it on a large level. So they take there are some IP strategies they have to follow because whenever you are forming a business, there must be some IP strategy for your business to increase the valuation of your business. So similarly, Dolby has done the same thing in 1950s around. So what they have done, they have taken multiple IPs on their technologies. So what they have done, hello, am I audible? Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So what they have done, they have taken multiple IPs on their technologies. After taking multiple IPs, as we have discussed yesterday, they are there. The patent can be not be the lifelong element. So after 20 years, patent is going to be obsolete into the market. Means it comes into the normal market, so nobody can take a patent on it again. That means Dolby only having the rights to earn as a monopoly till 20 years. So I'm just talking about some good IP strategies that they have implemented in their startups, Dolby startups. So after 20 years, they have utilized their IPs in their business drastically, and they have earned a lot of money. If you check the valuation of Dolby, your mind will blown out. So after 20 years, what they have done, like there are some commercialization strategies. So Dolby has licensed there so many patents. Like we can see Dolby atmosphere in Apple. We can see Dolby atmosphere in Samsung mobile phones. So what happened after 20 years? Dolby knew that thing like after 20 years, our technology we cannot hold the monopoly right on our technologies. So, but they knew that trademark having the capability to go with them lifelong. So while doing the licensing, they have signed one term sheet. In that term sheet, they have written that thing like after 20 years, whenever you are utilizing our technology wherever, first you have to notify us, first clause. And the second clause is whenever you are utilizing our technology, you will use our trademark, means you will use our logo. So even after that 20 year of creating the monopoly, they are still running on the royalties because trademark is one of the segment which comes and goes to lifelong and patent goes only to 20 years. So that's why what I'm saying, what IP plays a great role when you have planned a strategic comes with the strategic approaches because IP can lead you to make the monopoly for the few years, but after that you are having the capability to utilize that IP with a good IP strategies to generate revenue lifelong. So similarly, I have given this example because whenever you're starting a startup, so making an IP policy is one of the biggest factor which can lead you to become the unicorn. Okay, today we will also discuss about what is unicorn. Okay, so we have discussed about patents and all yesterday. Now, can I ask you one question, guys? Like, what in your terminology, what is startup? Many of the professors are here, maybe belongs from the management background, maybe belongs from the entrepreneurship background. They teach, they work in IIC. They are the in charge of IIC. They are the presidents in IIC, IQAC cell, IIC cell, incubation center. But what is startup? What businesses comes under the startup? Very less interactions among 68 people here. One person is from my end only, so 67. Unique, age of 10 to 15. Okay. You can turn on your mic. That will be also fine if it is possible. Again, unique, business, business with uniqueness and based upon turnover. Okay. It based upon turnover. It is, okay, I will take it here. Age of 10 to 15 years. They are technical. Anyone else who wants to tell like what is startup? Sorry. Okay. Okay. Thank you for giving your answers. It may be products. Okay. Okay. So let's discuss again what is startup. So there is a very simple terminology about startup. A business which is scalable is a startup. Any business which is scalable is a startup. Scalable up to IPO. It does not require any uniqueness. It does not require any age. It does not require any turnover. It required scalability. Anything which is scalable till IPO is a startup. It's a good startup. Even not till IPO, just scalable is a startup. If we talk about like there are so many people who have witnessed witnessed the Shark Tank, and there are so many business owners. So maybe you think like Ashneer Grover was there. I don't know. I have not seen the latest episodes. So they are running a startup. They started from the problem statement, which is scalable with their solution, and then become a startup owner. Bharat Pay. If we talk about Ritesh Agarwal also running found out a problem which is at a large scale and also scalable. Now they are in many countries, so that is also a startup. What if we talk about Aman Gupta? Who is Aman Gupta? Maybe Aman Gupta is the owner of boat, but they are not comes under the startup category because they are into brand making business. Brand making means they have imported the products OEMs and they just put it a white label marketing that they are doing. So that thing does not comes under the startup category. So maybe I think now it's clear. Anything which is scalable into the business segment is a startup. There, there is no technology required. There is no turnover required. There is no age required. Nothing is required at that time. Very simple. Okay. So before we go further, uh, there are something that we need to be clear. Like before you start a startup, you have to ask something from ourselves, like who owns this idea? Is the technology legally protected? Are we allowed to commercialize it? Are we solving a problem ethically? Startup is just not an innovation; it is innovation, legality, and responsibility. Yes, because whenever we are creating a startup, we comes under the one structure that can be LLP, private limited, HNI, anything like one person OPC, OPC, private limited, only limited. So there are few structures that we have to follow legally. Uh, Yeah. So this is just a simple slide. Okay. This is the most important slide that we are going to discuss here. As there is very little interaction, so I'll speak only about the things. So in India, so many professors are working on many things, like they are working on researches. Yesterday, we have discussed about two things. Those are one is fundamental researches and non-fundamental researches. Non-fundamental researches need giant products or giant manufacturing units, giant resources to implement their non-fundamental research. But if we talk about the fundamental researches, there are some maybe there we can make a prototype, we can make a simple model, we can make a POC or MVP. But there are only 0.1% people who have implemented their own researches because they are not interested into it in India only. If I talk about in US, what how US government plays, they not even the government, the college gives you $25,000 just for the sake of idea, just for the idea. If you are having any idea, you can take $25,000 and implement those $25,000 to make your prototype. But in India, we don't have. $25,000 is around 18 lakh rupees, and maybe this is the seed fund that we give to the people after putting 5, 10 years. So there is a huge gap. Also, if we talk about why startups fail in India, uh, maybe you all are here to discuss about to attend like how you can see to make a startup. Many are here, those who love to do a 9 to 5 job, but many of you are here. Maybe if there is one, those who actually build a startup, to actually do a business. So first of all, uh, there are multiple type of businesses. If we compare like a person who is working on something which is a drone technology, there is a person who is working on e-commerce business, the person who is working on a product-based business. So there are multiple type of business, service and product. First of all, another one is like not every business needs funding initially. Why do we need fundings? For e-commerce sake of business, we don't need funding initially. We can work on the traditional approaches by visiting and connecting with the people in a traditional manner. To expand our things, we required funding. But yes, most of the startups fail in India because of lack of funding, because they think funding is the one of the part that we require to build a business. Basically, you just need a concept, motivation, and continuity, and nothing else. If you are having these three things, just do hit and try again and again. So funding plays different role in different businesses. Some businesses which are related to space technology, maybe they required funding initially to make even an MVP or a POC, but they are already, they can make the blueprint, they can make the layouts. That can be done without funding. Also, if he comes under the small product based businesses, if he comes under the e-commerce businesses, so fundings does not play a crucial role there until unless you want to expand. So at least 1,000 customer you can reach directly by one if you think you are capable to sell anything. Okay. Now another thing, no market need. So again, many of the startups are works in on website only. So like maybe there are so many people who just think about making a website is creating a startup or making a business. No, it's not. In India, there is a Startup India portal, which will not entertain any person apart from a deep tech technology. So Startup India, such kind of things need only deep tech and robotic based startups. So if we consider like if you are working inside the, like there are so many people who are working on things which are not needed into the market right now. Like I have seen so many people who are just selling anything which is not a need of a market. So eventually, whenever you are making a business, so you have to consider two things: what is the need, or what are the wants. Need depends. Wants, we know everyone everything about that thing. Like I want a BMW, okay, but right now I need a Maruti also. So my need is a car, not the brand. So what you are selling to? which audience is one of the major factor. So how you can find out a good problem statement to make a business? It is very simple. Find out the target audience first, like to whom you are going to target. There are so many people who ask me, like whenever I go in different sessions. So in incubation centers, in AI, Atal Innovation Centers. So they ask like how we find out that we are working on a legit idea or we are working on a great idea. Okay, it is very simple. Like first we have to find out the audience, not the problem statement. First we have to find out the audience. Okay, I am a Gen Z, I am a millennium, I'm a person who is like 60-year-old and who I am. Okay, I am maybe 30, 31 year old. So now what I think, I can understand the market, those who are around 40, 50. Okay. So I can target the people who need who in this spam, like in from 40 to 50. Now we have filtered one category from 40 years to 50-year people. I will serve something. Now I don't have right now like what I'm serving. Maybe I can serve product and maybe I can serve service. Now what I see there, I don't have that much capital to introduce into my business. So I'll maybe choose service based business initially. So I've chosen one service based business. I have made one Excel file. I started giving that service in a very traditional manner by approaching those people. Now, how can I find out what service that I need to give them? From 40 to 50 people, they more focus to the needs rather than wants. Wants can depend and needs can depend upon the premium class, elite class to uh like average class. Like maybe BMW is the need of premium class, but BMW can be the need of the middle class, a want of the middle class. So it can depend. So again, we have to filter to which class we are targeting. So we are targeting middle class. So we will not think about the premium segments. We will think about the average segments, which can be affordable by the middle class people. So at that time, we have created multiple filters. Right now, still we don't have the problem statement what we are solving. After completing the age, after completing the class, after completing our capital, what we are going to spend, then we will find out, okay, this may be the problem statement they are facing. So you will become very focused to identify any problem statement when you have identified your target audience. So it is very easy to, like, there are so many people who initially ask me, like, it is very difficult for us to identify the target problem, what problem they are facing. Same we can do with the industries. Many industries need ERP models, right? Okay, let's target to the MSME industry. If we are targeting to the MSME industry, or we can target the micro industry, they don't have the proper ERP portal. They don't have the proper management portal to manage their sales like Odoo or Zoho. Odoo, Zoho can be expensive model for them. Also very complicated to understand what they are working on. We can make a simple model for just for the sales and purchase. This can be very effective for the people who are into the micro industry. So you have to identify the target audience first rather than the problem statement, because then you are able to identify what problem statement can lead me to the business tycoon. All right. Now the third point is weaker execution. Weaker execution happens when you don't have a good team. You don't have a good strategies. You are having the multiple strategies, but you are not focused. So first you have to complete one strategy, then again come back to the another one. If it is not working, then again come back to another one. And you have to give yourself a deadline, which is very important in a startup. Whenever you're performing something, you have to give one deadline. Okay, tomorrow I have to complete this anyhow. Okay, day after tomorrow I have to complete this anyhow. That's only you are able to achieve something in a startup. Founders burn out one of the major sector, because Many founders think website is very important for the service based business, but no, your reaching to the audience is more important than the website, because initially nobody knows you. So you will make a few pamphlets. You are visiting every house, every place, every industry with your pamphlet and a paper, A4 size proposal, a sheet of proposals, and you're taking out with the industry. So that will become more effective rather than making a website and taking and putting money on bots, which are made by Meta or Google Ads. So rather than choosing the wrong execution, please find out a traditional way where you can at least grab 1,000 customers directly, because those 1,000 customers are become your in relation customers, and the retention rate become more good. Now another one is co-founder conflict. Yes, many startup owners stuck in this co-founder conflicts because they think that they will earn a lakhs, a crores, and millions and trillions. But at what is the true thing is like they don't have having the single penny. So before choosing a co-founder, please make sure he is not having the mindset to grab money all the time. No legal structures is also one of the important factor. Even if you have not registered your company, just go to the any notary office and give them 200 rupees and sign one deed made by Chat GPT on 100 rupees stamp paper. That this is mine, this is yours. That's it. Okay. Then IP ownership disputes are also one of the factor why startup fails in India and any other country. IP ownership depends upon the people who are making that IP. For example, I am a founder of a company, but I am not the IP. Yeah. So, yes. So, even if we think like I'm a founder of a company and I'm looking for but I'm not the inventor of my technology. Similar things happen in universities as well. Like university is the applicant, but they are not the inventor. So who will give their name as an inventor and an applicant? So this these kind of issues are comes arises at the time of IP ownerships. Compliances in ignorance like GST, ROC audits also face the startup. The penalty was so high. Even if you are having a Section 8 company, you cannot. Sorry, so you cannot even imagine like what sort of penalties you have to pay. We have paid 2 lakh rupees as a penalty. So ethical shortcuts are nothing. It is something where you are breaching your own terminology, your own character. So at that time, also you fail. So these are some most common reason why startup fails in any organization. And one of the sector is like, please, it's an advice. If you are in a service-based industry, don't proceed with the digital approaches, because you don't know the market right now. You are just on a MVP level. So please take care of it. Okay. Any question here till now? We are having less slides today, so we can ask questions. Even if you want to ask anything, you can directly ask regarding the incubations and accelerations and all. All right. So the startup foundation, there are 5 pillars. One is idea ownership, legal structure, intellectual property, regulatory compliance, and ethical responsibility. Actual, these things are very important because see, there can be many co-founders and founders, but who owns the idea is one of the major thing. Another thing, which legal structure that you're taking forward. So there are multiple legal structures like LLP, PVT, OPC. We'll discuss in further slides. Okay. Choosing the right legal structure is one of the major factors for any startup, even if you are a student, you are a research scholar, even if you are a faculty member or you are an actual entrepreneur. See, why we need such structure and when to choose what structure is also one of the important factor. Sole proprietor. If I am a person, I am the whole sole person, and I know I will run a dukan. I am again saying a shop. I'm a sole proprietor. I am having GST, but on my name only. I am having a company PAN card on my name only. So, in a sole proprietor, a person can be the entity. This is the structure which will be used by the person who knows, like, I am the only person who, there is no co-founder or no one. So, why would I pay so much of compliances? And my business is running good. Maybe you can see the showroom owners. Sometimes you go in any showrooms. So, they are the sole proprietors most of the time. Then there is partnership. There are two type of partnership: non-registered partnership and registered partnership. Non-registered partnership is one of the firm which was not registered on MCA portal, Ministry of Corporations Affairs. And registered partnership is also the partnership firm. Here, there must be two partners. There are no directors. There are only partners. So if anybody who is into the partnership, there is no director. There are partners. Like I am into Vastav Intellect IP Solutions LLP. Okay, I will talk about later on LLP. So there are two and more partners in this partnership firm and nothing else. Partnership firms having the less compliances rather than LLP. Everyone sole proprietor having the less compliance, the most less complies, like least complies having by the sole proprietor, then more than partnership, then LLP. Okay. Then private limited, then section 8 and others. When to open a partnership firm? When we are not having that much of capital, and maybe my brother, my friend is who is into my business, and we know that there are more trust, but we don't want more compliances. Then there is a little bit limited liability partnership is one of the firm which is having more compliances than a registered partnership firm. In LLP, like you have to take GST and other segments simply, but the compliances are less, and they are that's it. The ROC compliances are less lesser than private limited only. Also, if anything happened, then your company become under the insolvency, and you are bankrupt. So nothing goes to your family. It is limited to your company only. It is not limited to your family and to your own assets. So that's why most of the people also choose LLP. Okay. Like I am a partner in Vastav Intellect IP Solution, but I am the group director of Vastav Group. So there are different segments. Like in Vastav Group, there are multiple companies, but in LLP, there is one company. It's not a company. LLP called as firm, not a company. Then we comes to private limited, then a public limited. Okay. So private limited having the more compliances, more ROC compliance and audits and all further things that we have to. There we have to demit the shares. There we have to assign a chartered accountant. So there we have to uh, do more compliances than LLP. Also, in private limited, the things if you comes under the debt, so the things can goes to your home as well. But in India, it's very easy to get funding on private limited company, venture capital firm. Like a seed, if you want a seed fund, if you need any good funding, so it is very easy to get on private limited rather than on LLP and partnership. And I think sole proprietor पे तो आप भूल जाइए, वहां नहीं मिलती है फंडिंग. So मिलती है but very less. Okay. Oh. Now we'll talk about Section 8. Section 8 is similar with the private limited compliances. The compliances are similar to the private limited, but in Section 8 comes under the social impact. In Section 8, you can showcase yourself like you are taking the money directly on GST. So this is the difference between private, but Section 8 comes under the like NGO type of thing. Also in India, most of the incubation centers are Section 8 because government trust more NGOs rather than private limited companies. So if you are taking government fund for to become the incubator, so you have to be a Section 8 company. You can be the private limited company, but at that time, take at your own risk because you will not get good amount of money from the government. So there are different compliances. That's why Section 8 comes under the government uh, tenure very easily. They can trust Section 8 very easily. But also you have to complete few of the compliances like 2 year of audits, ITR and all. Okay, there is a question, which structure do most founded startups use? Anyone? How many questions, like, sorry, uh, which is the most common structure which is used by Indian startups? Anyone here? Which companies use more? Am I audible to everyone? There are 73 people, really. Am I audible? Thank you. Private limited. Many companies choose only private limited organizations because it is very easy to get government fundings when you are a startup. But when you are becoming an organization in the sense to take the funding from government, like as an incubator accelerator or as a third party organization which is also associated with social impacts, so go with the Section 8. Okay, now founders agreement most ignored. This is the term sheet and we can say deed that whenever you are making any company, so deed is must be there. This is an agreement in which never start without founders agreement. So equity distribution, roles and responsibilities, decision making power, exit clause, IP ownership. These things are required whenever you are making a founder agreement or like a agreement or term sheet. Very simple. Okay. Yesterday we have discussed about so many things like what is commercialization and all. So today also we will discuss about the similar thing but in a different pattern. Yesterday we have discussed about what is licensing. As we know, licensing is exchanging the royalties between two parties, the person who is having the technology. Today I'm not talking about the patent, I'm talking about technology directly. For example, I'm a startup. I made this mobile phone, okay, and I am selling this mobile phone directly to a Samsung, right? So now Samsung is selling my mobile phone, and I am also a startup. He is also a business. He's a manufacturing business. I'm a single startup who is just making this mobile phone, and they are making other components as well. So licensing can happen not only in between patents, it can happen in between startups, it can happen between businesses. If we go further, you will, if you learn and if you think about, like if you do the deep dive into this, you can see how much L&T do the like licensing. If we talk about what happened, we have when we take the Rafale. Rafale is also the licensing concept of licensing. It's a commercialization method. So whenever we exchange our technologies, it comes under the licensing part. It can be anything. Now, if we talk about selling, so selling is something where we are transferring the ownership of business directly. It can be a direct business. It can be a direct IP. It can be a research. It can be a MVP, minimum viable product. It can be a project. It can be a prototype. So selling can be done in multiple ways. It can be even a service. So uh, it does not matter like what we are selling. Okay. Uh, maybe sometime you have seen commercialization happens in entertainment industry. Like we have seen there is a Dhurandhar movie and then they have transferred their right to Netflix. All right. So Netflix have given one amount and they have taken the copyright. That means they have taken the IP rights of Dhurandhar and now Netflix is streaming and they have given the first fixed cost to the Dhurandhar's producers. So this is also the one of the form of selling or a technology commercialization. Now, yesterday also we have discussed about joint ventures. So joint ventures happen in many times. If we any example that you can give me the good joint venture happened in India at a mass scale, at a large scale. Anyone here? Any good joint venture happened in India? Okay, how many of you are from technical background here? I don't know. Can you please? I request you dignitaries to tell me. Anyone from technical background, management background, management or technical? Anyone here? Dr. Komal, don't they have the right to open their mic or they are just stuck there? Am I audible? Do you have rights to open your mics? So why you guys are not replying? Because I don't know what is the meaning of this FDP then? If you are not even understanding the basic points, so what is the meaning of this? Take the certificate and go and sleep. Okay. So joint venture is one of the segment which comes under at many stages between Navy and Air Force. Very simple, like we can understand. It happens. It happens at many times in between NASA and ISRO. So there, these are the big organization where we can see the joint ventures. Now let's talk about the startup incubation. Startup incubation is one of the sector which is very important for a newborn startup. Okay, from where the startup incubation comes, it comes many years back to 30 years back. So what is an incubation? Incubation is an area in an ecosystem where anything can be grown. A business can be grown. A startup can grow. Okay. So how startup incubation works? I hope you have seen incubation center in your own institutes. Uh, I hope you have seen many other I hubs, innovation hub and T hubs and other things. So what they do, they provide you an ecosystem. Ecosystem like, for example, I'm a startup. I am a startup and I want an ecosystem. I want one environment. So where should I go? I am at the initial level. I am having pre-seed fundings and seed fundings. I am raising this. I am having this much of money. We are making this much of money. This is our traction. Traction is something sales. We are creating this much of sales. We are having this much of revenue, our turnover. So, okay, I think an incubation center is one of the best area where I can like grow myself as a startup. So what I will do, I am having two options. I will take one office outside the incubation center wherever I am. Like I can take in Connaught Place, I can take it in NSP, I can take it in Gurgaon, Faridabad, Noida. Or I am having another option to take an office inside the incubation center. Why? Because when I'm sitting in Noida, I am not aware about what is happening inside the startup market. But when I am in an incubation center, I am having the capability, I am having the opportunities to go into the networking events. I am having Okay, incubation centers gives you the co-working spaces where you can make your own business. You are having a seats, you are having a conference room. Apart from that, incubation center gives you mentors, funding strategies, pitch making strategies, how you can align your business with the industries. What are other parameters that you have to see? They give you IP experts, they give you compliance experts. So basically, the work of an incubation center is to provide the resources to the startups according to their needs. Now, incubation centers are also domain specific. Many incubation centers are based for only for women entrepreneurs. Some are on robotics. If I talk about in India, in Delhi, so IHFC in IIT Delhi is one of the incubation center. Those who works on robotics and cobotics. FITT, which is similar into the same into the IIT, they are working into defense technologies. We are having another incubation center. We are working on robotics and women entrepreneurships. So there are so many other incubation centers. Now, there is another incubation center which is known as AIC, Atal Incubation Center, and there is another incubation center which is for small students, like or for the students of 11, 12, which are like Atal Tinkering Lab. We call it ATL. It comes after the AIM mission, which is Atal Innovation Mission. So there are so many other private incubation centers. Now, these incubation centers are funded by AIM, that means Atal Innovation Mission. These incubation are funded by DST, DBT, METI, SIDBI, Nidhi. So these are MSME, Startup India. Like these incubation centers are funded by the other government organizations if they are Section 8 or NGO or a trust or a society as well. So this is all about incubation centers. And whenever you see an incubation center supported by DSTDB, that means they have 5 crore rupees to, to disperse the money, to divide the money between different startups. Like I'm an incubation center, my criteria, government criteria, Indian government criteria to become an incubation center is very simple. You must have 10,000 square feet. You are having this 400 of 400 square feet for reception, 300 square feet for sitting, 200 square feet for conference area, five cabins. So these are some requirement by the government. If you are having this in your inside your organization, inside your university, inside your institute, then you can apply for government funding from the other organization like DST, DBT, METI, SIDBI, Nidhi, KVIC, PMKY. You can go with the BIRAC, you can go with the Indigrams, you can go with the even DRDO gives you the DRDO CEOE, that is Center of Excellence. So you can apply funding schemes and you will get funds. But first you have to maintain the domain. If you are defense based, so you can go with the DRDO COE, which is the DRDO Center of Excellence, and they will give you funds to make a Center of Excellence. But your incubation center must work on defense technologies only. Now, any questions still here? Anybody here who's having any question? Okay, cool. Now, this is very important, like sustainability in any business. Uh, why sustainability in any business is very important? See, many of the startups think sustainability is equals to funding. What is sustainability in a system? They think whenever we are getting the funds, we are sustaining our startups. Even if you are working on research paper, and even if you are working on anything and you are not sustaining into it, after doing your research, you are not capable to make a prototype, you are not capable to take it to commercialization, and all the time you need funds. So many startups fails in that as well. Similarly, they invested their money. First, they took a grant from somewhere. They won like 10 lakh rupees. On that 10 lakh rupees, they run their company for 1 year. After 1 year, again they are looking for another funding. Again they raise 20 lakh rupees, then 30 lakh rupees. So what they think, like their company is running on funding, not on revenue. So funding is for expansions, not for the sustainability. First of all, whenever you are making, see, initially big businesses don't make revenue, but at least you are not a loss making business, first of all. And you should not rely on fundings always, because fundings can give you a pillar to stand yourself, but when there is some tsunami or kind of thing, you will be going to die. Okay. Sustainability startups have few of the things, which is repeat customers. That is very important. Repetition is very important. Depends upon the quality that you are giving. Many of the startup don't work on the post service things, like if I've sold something, what after that, what are the after feedbacks, and what are you trying to connect with your customers, are you giving them the support, if are you giving them such kind of things. If you are not giving them that thing, that means you're not having the repetitive customers. Another one, predictive cash flow, is very important. Like we are having these people who are going to pay us and we are going to utilize this. Always maintain multiple accounts, multiple bank accounts where you can rely. Like there are some strategies like 30, 20, 20, uh, 10, 20. So there are something like 30 for salaries and expenses, 20 for assets, then 20 for marketing, 10 for dynamic assets, and 10 for loans. So whenever you are having this structure, your cash flow will maintain always. Adaptive innovation is one of the major segments, like people don't rely. When you are having a baseline through your traditional model, go with the innovations to automate your segments. And many businesses fails because they don't understand and they don't think sales are important, because everyone was putting their money on website development, product development, service development, but nobody is giving anything, any a single penny to the marketing and sales. If there is no marketing, there is no leads, there is no lead, there is no prediction of conversions, there is no prediction of conversions, there is not a single sale. It depends upon multiple businesses. If I am making a helicopter, so my audience may be the organization which is defense related, or maybe a travel agency or an ambulance services, but whom we are targeting is also like we are again and again hitting them to get the sales. Sales are very important. And there is a line, if revenue stop for 3 months, will your startup survive? This is one of the best questions we can ask when a person is always asking for funding. Because again, I'm saying funding is not the important factor. What is important factor? How you are generating your sales. Sales cycle is very important. So, any questions here? No. Okay. So the 5 innovation practice that keeps startup alive. Problem led innovation. Startup dies when they fall in love with the solutions, right? Okay. So there are so many people who have built so many of startup like Vedanta Group, even if you talk about Adani. So you can work on verticals, but you cannot love those verticals. You can work on those verticals. This is very important line. Why I'm saying this? If you think you are working on something and it's not working out, many people think we have invested our time. They comes into the sentiment. They become emotional or something, like we have invested our time, money. What should we do now? If you think before starting anything, please make a deadline. Like I will start this business and I will end this if I will not generate even 80% of my target. If you think you are I can do this, I can do this, even after multiple attempts, multiple strategies, you're not making out, please stop it. Please close that chapter. Because if you are not doing it, you are going to harm your bank balance, your time, and your health as well. So whenever you are making a business, don't fall for it, because sometimes it will make you to survive in hospital only. What happened if the problem is not solved? Nothing happened. There are so many startups though, like I think you don't know Dunzo. Dunzo is one of the startup who failed very badly. There is a Blue Smart Cab, is also one of the startup. The mentor and the advisor of Blue Smart are our advisors as well. So I think I don't know, Blue Smart Cabs. Two Sardarjis have done some good job in their business. That's why they are behind the CBI. So whenever you are making a business, find out different ways to generate revenue, because a business never be like to generating revenue from the single end. If you think like this end is perfectly fine working, just cut short something and try, do hit and try again and again. It is very simple. I failed in 4 startups and I again stood up, but I'm not alone there. There is a team. It's a team effort. Whenever I talk about my own startups, there is a team effort. I'm not the whole person who can take the responsibility, but I can make that like I have invested 1%, but rest of has been invested by my team. Okay, this is the one of the biggest uh section which can help you out. Okay. Yesterday also we have discussed about like innovation. Innovation is equals to reality, technology, new technology. But no, in businesses, innovation is something else. Uh, okay. See, there are multi types of business innovations. Innovation is not about creating a novel thing, not about making out or find out a good idea which is novel, unique, like so many answers I got about what is startup when I asked. So, innovation is not like that. Innovation is something how uniquely you are running your business. There are 4 types of innovation. I know many more, but I have rated out only 4. First is business model innovation, then process innovation, then cost innovation, and then market innovation. If I talk about business model innovation, there are multiple business models that you can see very easily. You can see Rapido and Ola. This is one of the business model innovation that we can see. Both are having the similar business, but they are having different ways to earn money, because sometimes their geofencing API works differently. The strategy to align a driver is different. So this is what we call a business model innovation, a process innovation. There is there is a simple process. Let's talk about air conditioner. There is a window AC and there is a split AC. Very simple. Process innovation. There can be multiple other ways to define process innovation. Then cost innovation. Uh if we buy something from Blinkit and there if we buy something from Amazon, Blinkit charge more, but their innovation is like they're providing within 15 minutes. If we talk about Amazon, Amazon is giving less, but they are taking more time. So their cost innovation is different. Market innovation is very simple. If this digital token, sorry, if this DSC is used for a student, it can be used for a faculty. So there are different markets, but the same output, same product is serving to different. Like there are helicopters which can be used for the uh, emergency purposes like in ambulance, and similarly used for traveling. Both are traveling, but the use case are different. So it's This is the real innovation in businesses, not something finding out a good strategy, good idea to whom we know. The people who literally wants to do a business, they will not talk about that things. Like I don't have an idea, I don't have ye wo. Because finding out an idea is not a big deal. Implementation is a big deal. If you are the people who having the capability to implement something to make an impact in your country, then only you are able to make something for your own house. Because if you are only talking about your house, so maybe you can fulfill only on your things, not even of your house. So if you can think, you can think big to protect universe rather than protecting the world. Okay, one more thing that, like, I don't know if you guys are aware about MVP or product. So what is MVP? MVP is a minimum viable product. Many people think MVP is our product, but no, minimum viable product is something else and product is something else. There is a huge difference between MVP. MVP is used just for pitch days or demo days, where we can just showcasing like this is our product, that's how it works. But if we make the actual product have IS certificates, CE certificates, other compliance certificates, audits. After that, it comes into the market. But MVP is not into the market. It's just for prototyping and just for the showcase. Indian startup win by doing more with less. Yes, there are so many things like Zomato is one of the startup which do so much of things, but uh, how Zomato works, like they work on two three strategies. First of all, Zomato is a logistic business. We will discuss it later on with an example. But okay, Indian startup win by doing more with less, iterating fast, avoiding vanity spending. But I have seen in multiple. Uh, if we talk about in reality, yes, we do this, but after failing in three, four startups, because we need thoker in life. Once we are having that thing, then we stop spending money on extraordinary things which are not required. Then we are capable to find out the right iteration models, and then we find out right strategies how we can spend so much of money or less money to get more and more outputs. So this is very important. Also, entertaining your customer is one of the major factor that they have to introduce, because if you are not working in that segment, if you are if any startup is not giving the quality things to the, because in Indian market we have seen a variety of customers. In Indian market, there are people who are looking for funding, sorry, for looking for quality. They want it right now, and they want it at a low cost. So how can it is possible to do this? But we Indians, the business owners, the entrepreneurs, have found out so much of loops to fulfill this thing of Indian customers even. Low cost, good quality, and right now. So you have to understand that thing. Okay, sustainable startup require founders who learn fast, first of all, kill bad ideas. This is very simple. If you are into the trouble, so you have to kill bad ideas, obviously. We are not talking about this now. Okay, now let's talk about the pitch deck preparation. There are three, four. What is pitch deck? Pitch deck is a presentation that we showcase to represent your MVP, product, service, or anything to investors, to showcase anywhere, not only to the investors. Now, what it must require, it requires a problem statement, solution statement, market opportunity, business market opportunity can be with temps and so on, business model, revenue, like tractions, what you have created till now, what you are going to create, projectiles, turnover, if you are having. Impact is very important, because if you are running a startup without impact, that means you are just running in a race which is not going to be ended anywhere. So yes, a very good pitch can be completed within six to seven slides. So basically, if I talk about private ventures, okay, let me talk about few of the funding strategies. There is a bootstrap strategy. Maybe I think I forgot to. add the slide, but I can tell you there is a bootstrap strategy which where we have used our own capital to run a business. Then there is a private venture capitalist. Venture capitalists are the organizations and the people who are having who have connected with different firms. They are also the investors, but they are connected with the firms. Those invest on behalf of them. Like if I am a venture, so there are multiple startups. There are multiple investors connected with me, and we are investing their money on behalf of them. Then there are angel investors. They are angel investors. They are the most risk taker investors. They take risk without taking any collateral or anything. So all these investors are who are the actual investors. So basically, investors, those who are registered themselves or those who are registered on SEBI. SEBI is something where every finance fintech people knows what is SEBI. So those who are registered on SEBI are the actual investors. Rest are them are just making investments like 5 10 lakh rupees only. Then there is crowdfunding, like there are so many NGOs who do crowdfunding. And then there is incubation system. Incubation system is similar, like many government organizations have given money to the incubation system, like NGO, and they distribute the money upon by filtering the good startups. Okay, I am a woman-led entrepreneur. I am a woman-led entrepreneur, and I am incubated in IIT. Those who are working on defense technology, we are working on defense technology. So there is a criteria. First criteria, you must have DPIIT number or DPII number, which is given by the Startup India portal. Another one, you must have a MSME startup, MSME certificate. This is the second criteria to get incubated in any government incubation center. So there are few of the criteria, then they will screening rounds, then selection round, then you are into the incubation center. So these are the funding strategies. After that, what happen if you are having the pre-seed seed and you are scaling up your business rapidly like physics wala? So then there is series A, series in series A. Again, you take fund from the investors at higher valuations. And then series B, again, you take fund at higher valuation than C. Most of the startups in India don't go with series D. Then they goes to IPO. And after getting the IPO, the amount that they have taken from the investor, they return that thing. And now they run on profitable on public funds. Okay. There are some major organization. Those who give fund, these are only government organizations. DST, DBT, ACT, ICMR, MSME, METI, SERB, DRDO, ISRO. Every organization give you fund. Every. If you can do like a multidisciplinary research, co-research, or a co-startup, anything. See, there are multiple ways to get fund from the any organization. Let me give you a simple strategy. If you are having, if you are working on a startup which is technically sounded, okay, so you can go with these organization very easily. If your startup does not sounds technically, so please wait for 2 years, make a good audit report, and go to the bank, and they will give you 10 20 lakh rupees for expansions. But please don't make it profitable. Then only. So there are multiple ways, even if you are having a good startup idea, which can create impact in social. So you can go for CSR funds, corporate social responsibilities. So there are multiple organizations, there are multiple ways to get funds. If you are a good startup, you are having a product, actual product, you are selling your product. My personal recommendation for you for go to the private ventures, because at that time you will get a good amount and you will get a good network to expand your business rather than going with these government bodies. Government bodies give you money to make prototype, not to make products. So please understand that thing. Now, if we talk about the funding ecosystem in India, so there are multiple. First, industry. You can go with the industry directly to get the fund. Then CSR. You can go with the industry international agencies to get fund. You can go to the incubators, you can go with the venture ecosystem, then you can go with the government. So there are multiple ecosystems from where you can get the fund for your research, for prototype, for MVP, product, for expansion, and for the business overview till IPO. So if you think that from where you can get the funds, these people,
हैं? पता नहीं क्या कर रहे हैं, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है ना मेरे।
so these people are having the capability to give you the funds very easily for your startup, for research, for product, for anything. Uh, any questions still here? Any questions to anyone? Okay, start. Okay,
Sir, I have a query.
yes,
Like
please.
you have already told that we can get grants from government for research and all. And for
Right.
that, we have to collaborate with industry or for prototype creation and all. So is there
Right.
any way that for researchers as well, like from initial point of time when we are going for a research or conducting a research, we can directly get some scholarships or fundings from government to conduct a research, and then we can align towards any particular industry?
Yes, it depends upon proposal, what proposal that you are giving to any industry. For example, there are many organizations like ICSSR, ICMR, BIRAC, and all. These organizations even give funds to do surveys. And apart from that, if you are having a solid proposal with solid impact with a good budget, so definitely these organizations will entertain you and give you a good amount of money to do your research, to complete it, and to make a prototype, even to make a MVP, and even to make the product. After making the product, they will incubate you in their own organization. Let me showcase you what BIRAC. I don't know you have ever heard about the BIRAC. So BIRAC is one of the organization which works on the biotechnology. So if we go in BIRAC, you can see what programs that BIRAC is running. Incubation, ideation to early stage, ideation to late stage, translation research, social innovation, equity funding, product commercialization, product program fund, focused call fund, thematic supports. So if you can see, these organizations are working on many things. If you go with the DST call for proposals, so there are other proposals. Even if you think that this you are having something else which is not related with this, so you can directly connect with them and just mail them or give a share a speed post to them with your proposal. They will entertain you. DBT will entertain you. Then Meti will entertain you. Then MSME will entertain you. So there are so many organizations, those who will entertain you. If now, if you think like I am having something which is not related to this, I want some venture. So there are AH venture kind of thing. These people give you private equity funding. We are also give incubation support, Vastav Incubatics. So so there are multiple ways to get fund. Funding is not the problem. The problem is what impact you are creating. Funding is never a problem for the people who knows how to get funds. What actually the problem is what impact that you are creating, because people have created zero impact and taken so much of money. Right now, investors are very sharp minded, so they don't invest money on the rubbish ideas. Any questions to anyone? Any other question?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, where is my PPT? I lost it. Okay, it's here. Yeah. So I was talking about like you can take the money from CSR as well. For example, you have created one of the device for dogs, for animals, for unprivileged people, for below the poverty line people, to anyone. Right? Okay, your device is utilized by those people, those animals. You are having the MVP. Go to any NGO, they will give you the CSR. Take the CSR, make the product, and start distributing it. You can have 200 crores. Simple if you are having the solid idea. There is a biggest example. If you haven't seen the Shantanu, who is the general manager of Tata Groups. This guy, this guy, he he proposed uh, to Ratan Tata, like I am having one of the segment, and we offer collars which shine in during night time to save animal accidents, dogs accidents. He took funding from Tata Groups, and now he's the also the GM of Tata Group. So it's not a big way. It's not a. There are so many other people. Many other people are doing the same thing. But I don't know why people are stuck in theoretical work. Okay. Okay, these are the website which can be helpful for you to get the government funding schemes, like for your research papers. So I have just added this website, this like DST, ANRF, BIREX, Startup India, MSME, Tide, and Horizon for European Unions. So these things can be useful for you to get government fundings, research grants, MSME fundings, tech innovations. There is a Y Combinator as well, which helps invest deep tech based startups to grow in America, Silicon Valley. You can go to Silicon Valley. You can go to NASA as well if you are having the capability. Okay, now we are having core concept of innovation and entrepreneurship. See, entrepreneurship is not a big deal. A person who is doing and taking risk again and again to make something impactful, which can be scalable, is an entrepreneur. Calculative risk, calculative things, calculative outputs, and calculative impacts. He is an entrepreneur and nothing else. But yes, to do all those things, again, I'm saying to do all of those things, like you have to be very motivated and a very good risk taker. If you are not, so it can be the worst decision that you ever take in your life can happen. Okay. What is innovation? Let's take an example. Uber innovates the transport, not the invention of cars. Similarly, this is business model innovation, one of the business. The cars are already into the market, taxis are already into the market. What they have done, they have improved the business model. Right now, uh, we call taxi by blowing whistle, by uh, showing hand, hi taxi, hello, let's go from here to Navi Mumbai, from anywhere, right? But now after coming Uber, what happened? We can call taxi through our mobile phone, through internets. Business model innovation. So it is not a big deal to find out a good ideas. It is like how open your mind is. If I ask you right now, wherever you are, can you find anything, any problem that you can solve with a small concept? It is very important not to make a car, always make a spring which is utilized in a car, because without that spring, our car cannot move. So many people always think broader. Whenever you think broader, there are many other concepts. When you think narrow, so you will see only one object, one focused thing, and how you can innovate that thing. That is very important. Okay, now if we talk about the core concept of innovation and entrepreneurship, innovation is judged by certificate. Okay, this is one of the hard truths that we see in academics. If I am an entrepreneur, If I want to become a business owner, what I will do, there is one of the IEC activities going to be happen in my college, and what I will do, the people will not give me the fund, but they will give me the certificate. So I will take that certificate to showcase that I am also the entrepreneur. But what I need a mentorship, I need a space to work, I need resources to work. But apart from that, what I will get a certificate signed by the IIT directors. So in those concepts, why IIC was there, why IIC comes into the picture, it is comes into the picture to showcase that how you can make leads, how you can make market, how other entrepreneurs think, what industry concepts run, what is this, what is that in business. But right now it's just a workshop and nothing else. If I talk about, I think there are many people from different organizations. If you are having, maybe there are 100 people who are working on a single organization. I am sitting here. My name is Venkatesh Bharti. My LinkedIn profile is Venkatesh Bharti. If you are having any commercialized business patent in your organization, you can showcase to me. I will give you the funds. But do you have that thing? That is very important. Okay. There are many other people who are not even aware about what is design pattern, what is a utility pattern, what is a process pattern, what is inside a product pattern. Even if I ask you today only that yesterday we have discussed about that thing. So how open you are, how you are maintaining that thing, so it depends upon you, because not AI is not taking your work. You are giving your work to AI because you are not upgrading yourself. Sustainability framework. Okay, there are 4 questions. This is not for you. Innovation versus noise. This is very important. These are the activities if you want to do, if we can. Any activity you want to do. Right? One thing your startup will stop doing from tomorrow. I don't know you guys have startup or not. So not relevant here. Okay, there are some ethical challenges in startups faced. Copying pasting ideas, you can do the copy pasting, it's not a big deal, many people do copy pasting, but there must be some sort of innovation, even costing, process, business and market. If you are doing this, yes. But my personal suggestion, whenever you're doing a business, whenever you're doing a research, whenever you're doing anything, do not play on costing innovation, because when you drop down your costing to 5 rupees, somebody will goes to 3, another one 2, and the one who comes at 1 rupee anyhow, he is the leading that business. So never plays on costing. Misusing research data. Yes, people do that. Fake tractions claim. Many organizations do this. Fake traction claims means fake invoices, exploiting interns. Yes, misleading investors. These are the ethical challenges that startups face, because if you are misleading your investors, you are finding out shortcuts to gain the more and more valuation of your company is going to die very soon. Now there is a legal startup roadmap, idea protection, validation, company market. This is very good. Like when I have already told you how to identify an idea, first identify the target audience, then filter their class, then filter you're going to product into service, then filter need and want, then make one problem statement which you are going to solve. Then if you think it's novel, go with the protection. If it is not, go with trademark, because monopoly can give you another way to get to become the unicorn. Then validate your idea into the market by doing some little surveys. Use the traditional approaches to find out that how you can get 1,000 customer at least. Then in a meanwhile make a company as well. Then explore the market and do the expansions. Okay, this is one of the major factors that I have seen in multiple colleges and multiple institutes. Student and faculty both think their their students their students having the really good projects, and these projects can become a startup. No, because projects are not made or not create sales profile. They don't have the having the capability to become a product or to become a service for anyone. If a student have wrote like something which is related to uh, uh, a ERP model for college, they have created an ERP model for a college. Do you have capability to sell that ERP to your own college? Do you having the capability to uh, sell this to any other person? Why they will need your product? Just because it's a project? No. So project is not a startup, first of all, because startup work on customers, revenue, IP protection, and market validations. Those projects can be lead to prototype presentation and competitions like Smart India hackathons and all. Have you ever seen any startup comes from SIH? I don't know you are heard about. I'm also the one of the judge in Smart India hackathon last year. So do you think any startup after SIH winning SIH become the unicorn? Where are those startups? SIH is one of the scheme where they take high-end projects from PSUs and multiple organizations, and after that, students make their projects at low cost, like they will win one lakh rupees after completing the solution, at least 80%. And if I take an example of any PSU who has given the problem statement, and student have identified the solution, and after giving the solution, they are having a portal by any PSU. That portal will be made by at around 10 crore rupees, but by a student, it has been made up to 80% at only 1 lakh rupees. So who is in profit? PSU, not the student. Okay, let's talk about some of the case studies here. Zomato case study. So basically, Zomato is started as a foodie bay. First of all, Zomato is a logistic business. It's not a food business. They provide logistic services to restaurant to share or to transport their food from one place to another place. Also, they give the consultation to the restaurants where to open which restaurant on the basis of data analysis. So it they have pivoted to online food delivery, and their first paying customer come from small restaurant, not a big chain. Scale step by step and survive long business as a unicorn. We all know Blinkit is also from the Zomato. Now let's take another example of a bootstrap startup, Zerodha. Zerodha is similar like stock market platform for mutual fund, SIP, stocks. They started as a bootstrap and still they are a bootstrap. And if you see the valuation of Zerodha, you will be surprised. So sometime, yes, a unicorn can be become after sustainability. This is the example of sustainable startup. It is not standard on a funded thing. Okay, if you want to discuss more about this, we can. Okay, now there is one of the uh, startup. Now it is not into the market. Dunzo is a startup. It is also a logistic business. Like they give a opportunity to transport your packets from one place to another place. But they have what they have done. They have bought so many of bikes, like e-bikes, and they don't have any good customer strategy. They don't have any good marketing strategy. They have not spreaded their information, what they are doing, their solution to the market. So even after getting a good funding opportunities, such kind of startup flops. Byju's is one of the very good example of founders burnout. Burnout is something where you're spending your money. So this is also done by into losses now, and maybe now comes into the insolvency after getting into debt. Okay, here are some real advice for the startups from my end. Actually, ideas are very cheap. Please don't consider ideas are very good. I am having an idea, so I am a very good guy. I am a person who can beat anyone. No, you are not until unless you are not an implementator rather than an idea generator. Also, execution is everything, which is very really important. Compliances, if you are running a startup, please do not avoid compliances, because compliances penalty in India is very high. Nirmala aunty have done so much of things to fulfill the compliance. Also, IP create defensibility to make you a monopoly. and ethics build startups, because without ethics, you are not able to generate a good startup in a market. Okay, so how you can make a startup? Startup can be done when you are having a good innovative solution. Depend upon those 4 5 things. You are having a good legal background. You are having ethical. You are ethically responsible. You are market relevant, like to whom you are serving, and nothing else. So over to you guys. Every great question plants a great seed of innovation. Any questions to you? Where we are. Any questions to you guys? Anything how we can generate revenue? How we can take our research paper for a patent? How we can go for commercialization? Anything?
Sir, I would like to ask regarding the second question that you have proposed regarding research paper. How can we move forward towards patenting it, and how do we start regarding the same?
See, whenever you are doing a research. So yesterday also I have discussed, like in academics and business, patent are having different perspectives. So whenever you are doing a research, so you think like your non-fundamental fundamental research having the capability. So there are two approaches. One is traditional approach, like you do research and you file a research patent. A modern approach, you do a research and you go with the prior art search. Then prior art search, if you find out like your invention and your research is novel, go with patenting, then publication. So first you will get a concept, you go for a publication in traditional approaches. Now in modern approaches, you are having some idea, you go with prior art. If it is patentable, you go with patenting, then publication, or along with the publications, simultaneously you can do the both of the works. So this is very simple.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other question to anyone related to startups, related to funding, incubation, IIC, AIC, how we can become a part of Atal Incubation Center, how we can make our organization an AIC, industry visit and all, etc., etc.
And sir, is this possible that rather being an assistant professor, just being a research scholar, we can be a member of Atal Incubation Center?
See, Atal Incubation Center, you cannot be the member of Atal Incubation Center, because Atal Incubation Centers are open inside some universities. So Atal Incubation Center is nothing. First of all, for example, I am XYZ University from Mathura. So XYZ University having their own incubation center already. And now what are the criteria to become Atal Incubation Center? I am having already 10,000 square feet. I am having this much of spaces, co-working spaces, resources, faculty members, a hierarchy like chief partner, then director, co-director, CEO, CTO, and CMO in incubation center. Okay, now I have fulfilled 90% of the criteria which is required to become Atal Incubation Center. So in between that, we have completed our 100% checklist, whatever required to become the part of a Atal Incubation Center. Then government decide. You just fill the form that we are capable to become the Atal Incubation Center. Then government decide like, okay, let we do the inspection. They do due diligence. They check your compliances. They check everything, your hierarchy model, how much, what is your track record inside your existing incubation center. Once they think, okay, great, you are having some sort of you are good to go for Atal Incubation Center, then they will give them a tag. Now, my previous name of incubation center was Venkatesh Bharati Incubation Center, but now I have got the Atal Incubation Center AIM mission grant. Now my name is Atal Incubation Center. Sorry, Venkatesh Bharati Center. Sorry, Venkatesh Bharati Incubation Center supported by Atal. So such kind of things have been changed. So just government just give them the fund. So you cannot be the part of member, but you can be the part of Atal Incubation Center as a startup owner. you can go as a startup owner, but also to become the startup owner or to the part of our Atal Incubation Center, you must have startup India certificate, you must have MSME certificate, you must have a startup, and you have to identify which startup that particular incubation center accepting, like deep tech, fintech, woman entrepreneurship, rural entrepreneurship, XYZ, robotics, etc. Then only you can be the part of AIC.
And sir, yesterday you told me, like, I have a query yesterday that how can we create a research problem for research paper and all. And you suggested that we can visit incubation center and then check about from five
Yes,
entrepreneurs what exactly the issue is with
yes,
industry. Are they inclined with industry or not? So for
yes.
visiting incubation centers, what would be the criteria or what exactly we as a
No
research scholar
criteria.
can
No,
uh,
no criteria. Do
so we can
nothing.
directly visit the incubation centers.
Yes, yes. You can directly visit the incubation center. There is no criteria. You are a
And
professor, you are a research scholar, just go there, enter your name as a visitor. Or if you think like you can do something like Ranchor Das, like you don't need any fees, you just need a costume. Take the costume and go there and visit
okay,
it.
sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any question? We are having 14 minutes. You can ask any other question. Because yesterday maybe we are not able to take the Q&A. You can apply for DRDO funds. You can apply for other funds very easily, because I don't know like you people are from the technical background or not, but there are so many researches are also open from ISRO right now. So you can apply for ISRO funds. You can apply for Startup India funds. There you just have to follow the criteria, or just have to follow the proposal writing in that. They have already given you the format, so you just have to fulfill the documents. And the taking of funds is not the very difficult task. I have taken fund from DRDO on two-page proposal only. So your proposal must be good. Any other question to anyone? Okay. Let me complete my one slide that I have. Okay. Whenever you uh, start your own business, so you have to identify in every 30 days, like who paid you this month, what did we learn from the user, what did we kill, and what will we change. If we having these question in our mind every time, in every 30 days, so maybe you don't need to hire any advisor for your business, because they will ask you these 3 4 questions every day, like what you have done today, what you have done today. So these questions are important for the people who are literally wants to do a business, but you can ignore it. And I think we have covered all the points. License. Okay, I think people don't have any question. So Dr. Komal is here. I don't know. Dr. Komal, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have done my part today. So,
Okay. Hello, good afternoon, participants. It gives me immense pleasure to extend my gratitude to our esteemed resource person, faculty members, participants, and organizing team members to the valedictory session of Faculty Development Program on Patent and Design Thinking, Innovate, Protect, and Transform Ideas into Impact. Over the past few days, this FTP has been an enriching journey of learning, innovation, creativity, and intellectual exploration. The sessions conducted by our esteemed experts have provided valuable insights into the patents, intellectual property rights, innovation management, and the application of design thinking into academics and industry. Today's valedictory session is an opportunity to reflect upon the knowledge gained, celebrate successful completion of the program, and express our gratitude to everyone who contributed to making this FTP a meaningful and successful event. Before moving further, I would like to take a moment to highlight the journey and key accomplishments of this FDP. The Faculty Development Program on Patent and Design Thinking was organized from 25th to 29th May 2026 with the objective of enhancing awareness and understanding of innovation, intellectual property protection, creativity, and problem-solving approaches to design thinking. During the program, participants attended insightful sessions on introduction to patents, intellectual property rights, patent filing procedures, innovation and commercialization, design thinking process and applications, and emerging trends in innovation ecosystems. The program witnessed active participation, interactive discussions, and enthusiastic engagement from faculty members, researchers, scholars, and from various institutions. We sincerely thank both our resource person, Mr. Venkatesh Bharti, and Ms. Rashmi Jain for sharing their expertise and enriching the program with a valuable guidance. As a token of our respect and gratitude and appreciation, I would like to present a token of appreciation to Mr. Venkatesh Bharti. I'm sharing the screen, sir, for a minute.
okay, thank you.
Is it visible?
Yes,
So thank you so much, sir, for your
thank
valuable
you.
words and the learning. We learned a lot about IPRs and startups and ecosystem. So thank you once again. So moving further,
Thank you.
I would like to capture a group photograph as a memory of this wonderful FDP. I kindly request all the participants to please turn on their cameras and join us for the photograph. So I request all the participants to, for a minute, please, on their cameras so I can take a picture. I request all the participants to please switch on their cameras to make it successful. Only 3-4 people is their camera on, so I request all of one. So thank you all. So thank you for sharing. So now I would like to invite, is there anyone to share their learning experience and feedback they have learned during all the 5 days of FTP sessions? Who want to share their feedback regarding the FTP? Is there any participants who want to share their feedback?
I would like to share the feedback regarding the FDP. I
Yes,
would
ma'am.
like to say that it was a very wonderful and well managed FDP, and we were able to learn very well from our both the trainers, both the resource person, and it was highly engaging from the resource person point of view. And thank you to both the resource person. So because I was having multiple doubts, so I have done MOOC course on intellectual property right, but still sometimes there are little bit doubts that still remains inside. So thank you so much for resolving all the doubts, clearing all the doubts, and giving much more insights for from a scholar point of view. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Miss Ravleen, for your valuable feedback. It means a lot to us. I hope you understand a lot about IPRs, and in future we will also do these kind of FDPs for you guys. So I would also like to congratulate all the
And Dr.
participants.
Komal, you're not audible.
I'm not audible. Hello.
No,
Sir,
you're not.
ma'am is audible. Komal ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, I'm audible. I think, sir, I'm not audible to sir. I would like to congratulate all the participants who successfully completed this FDP. Your active participation, dedication, and enthusiasm truly contributed to the success of this program. And the certificates will be provided to all the participants fulfilling the attendance and participation criteria. Also, I request all the participants to please fill the feedback form link. Link will be shared. Link has been shared in the WhatsApp group. With this, we came to the end of validity sessions of the faculty development program on patent and design thinking, innovate, protect, and transform ideas into impact. We hope that the knowledge and insights gained during FTP will inspire all the participants to innovate, think creatively, and contribute meaningfully to the academia, research, and society. So thank you once again. Thank you, Venkatesha, for your valuable session. Uh, have a wonderful day. So the meeting is ended.